This month in church, we are going through a series that I'm sure most of you already are aware of, and that series is All of Jesus for All of the World. And that's such an important topic, such an important theme that should be viewed, should be followed, should be thought of more often than we probably do. Because too often, if we're honest with ourselves, we're too focused on our daily lives. We're too focused on work, whether we're going to school or groceries or bills. We're worried about all of these everyday problems. But what we lose sight of is the mission that Jesus had sent out to us during the Great Commission that we find in Matthew chapter 28. And in that Great Commission, we find Jesus telling us with his very last words here on earth, where he's commanding us to go out and make disciples among the world and to baptize them. And too often, when we look at that Great Commission, we get stuck just on that one part of making disciples and baptizing them. And not to say that it's not great, because that should be our first point in this mission, is to make disciples and to baptize them, to share the love and the hope of Jesus Christ to those around the world that don't know who he is. That should be our main desire, is to do so. But what Jesus says in that Great Commission is that there's more to that than just getting people saved. That is the main part, is to get people saved. But what he also says after that is that he wants us to follow all that he has commanded us to do. And he adds that last part in there into the Great Commission because that is so vital to our walk with him in fulfilling his desire in our lives. We have to make sure that we're following what he has commanded. We have to remember that he is the God that has created us. So God, Jesus, they know what we need. They know how we act. They know the right things that need to be done for us to live a life that is pleasing to him, but also a life that is good for our own selves. So he says that we need to make sure that we're following all that he has commanded. So that's important for us, but it's also important for those around us, so that when we're witnessing, when we're showing them who Christ is and we're displaying the love and the hope of Christ to them, we're not just leaving it at salvation, but we're continuing to pour into the people around us to show them how Christ has for us to live. But there's one thing that we need to hold on to, one thing that we are reminded of in that same passage. In that same Great Commission, at the very end, Jesus says that he will be with us always. That is hope. That is something great that we can hold on to when life gets difficult, when the things that Christ has called us to do seems a little bit too hard, or it seems like it's impossible, or that we just don't want to do that today. We can remember that Jesus has promised us that he is with us all along the way. So church, as we go out to share the love and the hope of Jesus Christ, and we are at that starting point of displaying who Christ is to them, we can have faith, we can have trust in God, in Christ, that at that starting point we can move forward and know that Christ is with us all along the way as we're continuing to follow all that he has commanded of us.